You ever move into a neighborhood thinking it's going to be peaceful, quiet, maybe even a little boring, and then find out your next door neighbor thinks she's running a dictatorship? That's exactly what happened to me when I bought my house in Ridgewood Grove, a tucked away cul-de-sac with decent views, nosy neighbors, and what I thought was no HOA. The property listing never mentioned one, and the deed was clean, no HOA recorded, no dues, nothing. I even had my real estate attorney double check it. So I moved in, repainted the shutters, planted a few boxwoods, and parked my work vehicle clearly marked with the county seal right in my driveway like I'd done for years. And that's when Sharon showed up, middle-aged, blazer too tight, sunglasses too big, and a clipboard surgically attached to her hand. She marched right up to me as I was unloading groceries and said, "Sir, you'll need to move that vehicle. It violates Ridgewood Grove Association rules, no commercial markings allowed." I blinked. "Excuse me?" I said. "I wasn't aware we had an HOA." She scoffed, like I had just told her I didn't believe in gravity. "We're a private community, and I'm the acting compliance officer. The paperwork was mailed months ago." I asked for documentation, and she promised to circle back. 2 days later, there's a bright orange citation taped to my windshield violation, non-compliant vehicle. Subject to fine. I ripped it off and tossed it. I figured it was some busybody nonsense. But then more started coming. Fake board meeting. Notices slipped into my mailbox. Threats of escalating action if I didn't move my car or trim my shrubs to regulation height. All unsigned, but all printed on letterhead that said Ridgewood Grove, Homeowners, Oversight Committee. That word, oversight, stood out vague, unofficial, but intimidating if you weren't paying attention. I did some digging. There used to be an HOA here 10 years ago, but it dissolved when the last board failed to refile their incorporation. No dues had been collected in years, and the county confirmed there was no active HOA recognized for Ridgewood Grove. Sharon, she was just a neighbor with a printer, a clipboard, and a God complex. So, I told her to back off, in as polite a tone as I could manage, considering she'd just tried to fine me for my city-issued vehicle. She didn't take it well. The next morning, she stood at the foot of my driveway with 2 other neighbors in tow, both holding phones, recording. She pointed at my car and said, "This is your final warning. Next step is removal." I laughed. "Removal by who?" "Sharon, you gonna tow a government vehicle off private property?" That's when she smirked. "We'll see." 3 days later, my car was gone. I came outside, coffee in hand, and there was just an empty patch of concrete where my vehicle had been. I thought it got stolen. I panicked, called dispatch, filed a report. But then one of my coworkers said, "Check the tow lot." I drove down there, and yep, there it was, locked behind a chain link fence. A bright yellow slip stuck to the inside of the windshield. Authorized Tow Ridgewood Grove HOA. Except, again, there's no HOA. And the signature? It was forged. Someone had written the name of a county department head who'd been retired for 6 years. I asked the manager who made the call, and they said a woman named Sharon Heller claimed she was acting president of the Ridgewood Grove HOA. I took photos. I got copies. I brought it straight to my supervisor, and we kicked it over to the legal department. Forging government documents to tow a government vehicle. That's a felony. But I didn't want to go nuclear right away. I wanted to see what she'd do next. Turns out, Sharon wasn't done. She called the city, then the county. She filed multiple complaints saying I was a visual disruption to the community, accused me of lowering property values, and even showed up at a town hall meeting with a binder of photos of my driveway circled in red Sharpie like I was running some kind of meth lab. That's when I showed up. I walked into that meeting halfway through her rant, in uniform, badge on full display. When the moderator asked who I was, I stepped up to the mic and said, "The man who owns the car. The one you're all apparently here to discuss." Sharon's face turned the exact color of a sunburn. She tried to pivot, said it wasn't personal, just policy, but the council wasn't buying it. They'd already received a memo from our department confirming the vehicle was official, legal, and protected under multiple local codes. Then came the knock on her door. A week later, 2 sheriff's deputies delivered a cease and desist order. Sharon had forged a public official's signature and impersonated an HOA officer. Turns out, her little oversight committee was just a fancy name for her and 2 friends who liked bossing people around. The fake citations, illegal. The threats, harassment. The tow, criminal. Still, that wasn't the end. Sharon tried to go out swinging. A few nights later, I caught her on my security cameras. She walked right up to my new vehicle, reissued by the department, and spray-painted the side with the words, "Traffic Tyrant, Move Your Junk, and No HOA, No Class." It was 212A, M, clear as day. We had her on tape, hoodie and all, and you could even see her trip over my sprinkler head. That footage got played in court. Yep. Because I pressed charges, destruction of government property, trespassing, harassment, and thanks to the forged tow authorization, felony fraud, she pleaded out. Of course, claimed it was all a misunderstanding. Said she thought the HOA was still kind of active, and she was just trying to restore community order. The judge didn't buy it. She got fined, slapped with a restraining order, and was ordered to pay for the damage to the car. Oh, and the city made her take down every single flyer and sign she had posted around the neighborhood. The funny thing is, once she was gone, everything changed. People started talking again. Neighbors waved instead of reporting each other. The street felt calmer. Someone even strung up holiday lights without getting a nasty letter. It was like we all woke up from some HOA-induced fog. A couple of the nicer folks asked me if I wanted to help form a real HOA one that actually worked for the neighborhood, not against it. I politely declined. I told them I'm good with a quiet street, a clean driveway, and a job that lets me park wherever the law allows. Besides, I still wash that same car every Sunday, just to remind whoever's watching that I'm not going anywhere. The best part, Sharon's house finally sold. And the new owners. They parked a massive RV in their driveway, right where she once lost her mind over my work vehicle. Bright silver. Takes up half the property line. Sometimes karma doesn't knock. It parks in your front yard.